Morty and the Oatmeal Babysitter. Morty is a very mischievous mouse who always does very mischievous things. Morty's day started with a battle of a breakfast. Morty poured cheese oats into his bowl. All 3 cheese oats, that is. Someone had eaten the rest and left the empty box in the pantry. He may have done it. He wasn't sure. Now, his portions for breakfast were bleak. Mother placed a bowl of hot oatmeal in front of Morty. He didn't look up. He was staring at where in the attic is a Morven mouse, on the back of the cheese oat box, trying to decode the clues. When Morty finally stuck his spoon into the bowl, the oatmeal was cold and thick. He didn't dare eat it. It could get stuck in his throat. I'll skip breakfast, he thought. Besides, his favorite television show was about to start. Morty, I have a special favor to ask you, Mother said, turning down Mega Mouse at the most exciting part. I need to go help Aunt Enda for a bit. Will you please mouse sit your brother and sisters? Uh-huh, Morty answered, without taking his eyes from the TV. I don't want you to have any friend in the house. Don't let your brothers or sister leave the yard either. I should be home in just a few hours. Mother paused and added, if all goes well while I'm gone, I'll take you, Ben, and Fred to the circus tomorrow. At this, Morty looked up. Really? The circus? That sounds great. What could be better than going to the circus with his 2 best friends? Morty could already smell the cheese popcorn and feel the excitement of the big tents, arcade games, and the daring tricks. Mother planted a kiss on Morty's ear and made one final request. Please be good. After she left, Morty cranked up the volume on Mega Mouse. His 6 brothers and sisters were outside playing. Maybe I'll just stay on the sofa and watch TV until Mom gets home, he thought, but it sure would be great if there were some cheese oats to munch on. A little while later, Morty heard the doorbell ringing. He scampered on the door. When he opened it, Ben and Fred began squeaking at once. The circus is there, Ben said. You have to come now. They're sitting up. We can sneak under the black back fence to see everything. Yeah, everything. Elephant tigers and the sword swallowers and the fire-breathing mouse, Fred added. Come on right now. We can see the stuff that most mice never get to see, Ben said. Morty thought, I'll go for only a few minutes. But who can watch the mice if I go? I'd have to be home before Mom comes back. Then Morty had a very mischievous idea. I can't go, Morty said. Send my brother and sister inside. I'll need a couple of minutes with them. Oh, and don't come in the house, Morty added, remembering that his mother and said, no friend in the house. Morty ran to the pantry and got the bulky bag of oatmeal. Then he started running nice warm water in the bathtub. As his little brother and sister come in, Morty said, time for a bath. You want to be nice and clean when Mom gets home. Hop in. Soon, the tube was living, with 6 little mice splashing in the warm water. Morty poured the oatmeal into the tube. Oatmeal will make the perfect mouse sister, he thought. They don't get into any trouble, and I'll be back in time to free them before Mother returns. Next, Morty turned the cool water for a quick, almost cement-like thickening. Then he stopped off the water and snuck out of the house before the mice had time to squeak. Ben and Fred led the way as the three mice explored every tent and animal's cage. If they weren't helping with the setup, the circus animals were napping, and even the scary lion looked peaceful. On a dare from Fred, Morty squeezed himself through the bars of the cage to gently touch the lion's mane. His heart felt like it was a pound right out on his chest. With fear, it beat so loudly, he was sure it was a lion. After that bid for daring, Ben and Fred and Morty scurried around the snack stands. They wanted to serve themselves with the warm cheese, popcorn, and the candy apples, but that would have to wait until tomorrow, when the circus opened for business. Morty quietly peeked into the back of a noise tent. There were a few mice practicing silly moves. Ben and Fred, come check this out. They are clowns, without their face point. Don't they just like the regular mice? Morty said. They turned at the average size smell and the sound. Morty was most curious about the games on the midway, where the sideshow tents were. How come it seemed as if no one ever won? Morty spotted a row of stuffed Mega Mouses ready to learn anyone with the new quarters to play. I'll win one of those tomorrow when I come back with Mother, Morty said to himself. Mother? Oh no, Morty had completely forgotten about his brother and sisters. He had to hurry come to get everyone out of the tube before Mom returned. It was nearly dark. This is bad, Morty screamed at Ben and Fred. I got to go right now. I'm in big trouble. Ben and Fred had heard the lion from the morning before. They weren't going to leave yet. The trapeze act was about to practice. Returning from Aunt Enda's mother was surprised to find mice playing in the front yard. When she opened the front door, the television was blaring, but there was no one watching it. Clicking off the TV, she heard the faint sound of a whimpering coming from the bathroom. Oh dear, what have we here? Mother said, using her calming voice. Her precious children weren't harmed, but felt to her that their big brother would play such a mean trick on them. Mother quickly turned on the hot water as the oatmeal got running. She lifted out each of her little mice and gave them a big hug. Morty skated around the corner and scampered up his street at full-mile speed. Spotting a mouse Maven, his heart sank. Mother was home. Hi, Mother, Morty called out, stepping through the front door. I'm here, Mother called from the kitchen. Morty's brother and sister were sitting around the table eating cheese chowder. The soup smelled delicious. Morty was so excited to tell them about the circus, but he knew what would have to come later. Morty, I was going to make some yummy oatmeal cookies as a little treat, Mother said. I thought it would be a nice reward if everything went well here, when I visit sick Aunt at her house. Gulp. Morty could feel the color rising in his cheeks, and his tears were turning red too. But the oatmeal is gone, Mother continued. Do you know anything about the very long oatmeal bath your brothers and sisters took? Now, there's one thing about Morty. He always tells the truth. Yes, he murmured. You see, I really wanted to watch the circus being set up. And I no promise to watch the mice for you. Morty looked at his brothers and sisters. They had stopped, slurping their soup, and all 12 white eyes started staring at him. I'm sorry, I was thinking only about myself. I broke my promise to you, Mother. Morty couldn't tell if Mother was disappointed or angry. Morty, you let me down, and you played very mean trick on your brother and sisters. For the second time that day, Morty's heart felt it would beat right out of his chest. Maybe now was a good time to change the subject, he thought. You know, the free-eating mouse, the rice is mouthed with the cold water first, and... Morty, I'm glad you enjoy yourself, because you will not go to circus tomorrow. Mother said, you are grounded. You will use the money you have saved for the circus to buy a bulk bag of oatmeal. Yes, Mother, Morty murmured. Also, I believe you have a bathroom to keep clean before dinner. Okay, Morty said as he turned to leave the kitchen. Tears started to fall. He didn't want his brother and sister to see how disappointed he was. The bathroom was a mess. Hardened oatmeal covered the wall and the floor. Morty used a shovel from the sandbox to get all the drink clogging oatmeal out. He could hear his brother excited talking about the lions and the elephants they would see tomorrow. At his elbows an oatmeal slurry. All Morty could think about was that stuffed Mega Mouse. He knew he couldn't win it, but now he wouldn't even get a chance to try.